Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me in my shop here. Doing these videos is a little like being the only student in a university full of professors. It's really great. So I want to thank those of you who write comments and shoot me the odd email too for the help that you extend to me. And talking about help, so in this radio there are 3 of these variable capacitors that I've seen in other radios and largely ignored or misunderstood how they operated. So this is the time for me to sort it all out completely and then have this knowledge going forward, because I'm going to encounter these guys again and again. So let's just take a peek at what's in the radio here. Then I'm going to show you a photo or two that was sent to me by email from one of you, which really shows how these things are structured from another radio, but they're very similar or nearly identical things. So let's take a look at this one up close. There's something interesting about it anyway. That's the one that I might have some trouble with the focus here. Let's see what happens. This is the one I was fiddling with. So the first thing I noticed this morning when I walked in here was, what's that thing there? Normally when you look at one of these you see an empty pipe. Oh, there's a piece inside there too. There's a very important connection right there. See how that's done? See how it's done right up onto this piece here? Let's look at this other one here. So I've realized a few things about these now. I'm a lot more comfortable with it. There's the wire going from this sleeve part over to here. So the part that's moving is this white sleeve with what looks like a copper core. This is the part that moves up and down inside this shaft. So the challenge here is how do you connect moving parts into a circuit? That's tricky. The problem occurs with volume controls and things like that. It occurs with the tuning capacitor. How do you make connections to moving parts that are sliding or rotating or whatever? So this sleeve is one of the plates of the capacitor, and the copper shaft or whatever that is in there, that's the other plate, and then the dielectric is this white material here. And so what they're doing is almost like the way you tune an inductor. They're just sliding this white part with the internal electrode in and out of this shaft. That's what I'm doing when I'm tugging on that part at the top. So the shaft is grounded via that wire we were looking at, this bare wire. The other end, the part you're actually sliding up and down, is grounded to the chassis via its various boltings. So the slipping part, well, I have a photograph here that was sent to me. I'm going to share it with you in a second. We're going to take a look at what's really in here. Let's look up on top now. So anyway, this is right out at maximum capacity, I'm pretty sure. If you were to pull this up, so this disappeared and went up the pipe like that one, or maybe more like this one. Where's this one? This one's way up there. You'd have less and less capacitance. So my mistake with these in the past, and frankly, I've probably gone through a dozen of these in probably 6 different radios, is I thought you just rotated the part at the top. So that's what I used to do, just rotate it. I've never tried forcing it up and down until now. So I got it wrong on all those other radios. Sorry. Sorry, you people. I don't want to get it wrong with this one now, or any more in the future. Yeah, let's look at the top of my radio here. Let's see if I can get one that's kind of in the clear. Right, in the clear. Well, there really aren't any in the clear. So if you look at this one, I'm sorry it's dark, but you can see that down at the bottom is a nut right up against the chassis. And then above it is a sleeve, and the sleeve you can see is shaped to receive a tool. So that sleeve above the nut needs to be backed off slightly, and I'll show you in this photo exactly how this works. So we'll flip over to a photo here. Okay, so here's an email I got from Mike Pagel. Sorry Mike, I'm putting your whole name up there on the screen. But here we are. This is the piece we were looking at that's just above the nut. And you can see the flat faces here, but you know, this is not ready to receive a regular socket. These are unusually shaped. Now this is where you got to get the grip onto. Now, it could be if you just drop a properly or luckily sized socket onto this, you might grip these and get away with it. I think that's what probably happened. There's another shot of it. When you remove it, you see the nut left behind that's holding this onto the radio, which you do not want to remove. And then as you're tightening down that outer part, it's pushing these plates in against the shaft. So in my case, I haven't loosened these off. Instead, I've taken the probably not so smart move of putting WD-40 in here. You know, there's so much contact area here. I can't imagine WD-40 is going to somehow insulate the shaft here from this part. But this is how this shaft gets grounded to the chassis, just through this contact here. Okay, so I think that's just about all we can consider here. Thanks Mike for sending me this little piece here too, which is a bit of the alignment instructions, and they're extremely well written, and whoever wrote them, the engineer who wrote those instructions, obviously aligned a lot of radios, because it goes into a lot of little detail about how to do it. So that's great. Okay, so I think, what am I doing now? I'm going to carry on with the alignment. That's going to bring me up against a couple more of these guys, and we'll just see how it goes. Maybe I'll have to revert back to the original one at some point too, because it is right at its extreme setting. You know what? Just in thinking about it, maybe I better start over. better start with the one that I got it at its extreme length. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so just before I turn on the radio here and let it get warmed up for the alignment work, I'm going to test. Hey, it's another beeping meter here. Okay, so I'm going to test for the resistance to the chassis of the center of this shaft here, using this little meter. Actually, made a little video on this meter yesterday, but I want to try to use it here. You can already see some of the difficulties with using this meter. Here we are. Oh, there. Zero. That's what I expect to see from this. Yeah, that's virtually a zero there. What about the other ones? Is there any chance something has gone wrong with these? I don't think so. They look like a pretty darn good contact. Like maybe they're using this style because it has a bigger range of capacitance than a regular, you know, there's the other kind of trimmers here, right? The standard usual kind. These ones are a little unusual. Yeah, they're all going to read zero, as they should. Oh, shame on me, phone in my pocket. And the reason it's a shame on me is the phone will cause interference on my videos here, so I don't want that to happen. Okay, so I think we're ready to turn this on. What I've already done, turn the radio on. What I've done, I've got the signal generator running at 21.5, and I've got the radio tuned to 162 degrees on the big wheel, which should be 21.5. So I'm going to turn the radio on, I'm going to cross my fingers, and we're going to see if this comes up whistling away. I'm going to just give it a little bit of help there, give it a little more power. Okay, Here we go. Oops. Oh, not plugged in. Not plugged in. There we go. Good. The reason the radio is not plugged in is it's my habit, which I don't follow habitually, is to unplug things on my bench when I'm not in here working or I'm not working on them. I try to remember to unplug them. That's why I'm forever forgetting they're unplugged. That's okay. Maybe I'm a little bit unplugged. Okay, everything's fine. Let's give her full power here. Listen to that. Well, it was there. Where to go? Came and went. Well, that was interesting in itself. If you heard the tone just kind of sneak by, I'm going to assume the radio's tuning was drifting a bit. And it drifted past that tone. Okay, so we don't have this. Well, you know, how precisely can I tune this radio anyway? It could be just ever so slightly off. I'll tune the signal generator and find out where the radio really is tuned. Oh. It's definitely off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back to 21.5. And I'm going to tune the radio itself and see how far off the wheel is. Oh, that's interesting. That's the a little bit of extra interference. It's me moving this camera again. So something, I just got to take note of these things when I notice them. I guess that's what taking note is. Okay. So you can see the wheel there. 162. It's right on the money. I calibrated that also just before I started by whipping the wheel back to 0 and making sure my little pointer's on 0. So now, how far do we move this wheel to tune it in? Everybody watch. So you know what that's showing me? Oops. Once again, I bumped the radio and it man, I'm going to assume it's just the test setup, something in the test setup that's doing that. Well, we're all set to fiddle with this, aren't we? So let's double check the meter. Is it really showing the tone? Yep. Maybe all those volume things are just the volume control itself is just not as reliable as you might want. Okay. Now, where am I? What am I doing? Gotta make sure this radio is tuned right into this signal perfectly. It's not an oscillator adjustment. It doesn't really need to be exactly at 21.5 to do this. Just in the realm. Now I gotta grab my tool here. According to the instructions for the other radio, I'll turn this down here. The instructions for the other radio said pull it out all the way for minimum capacitance and then push it down to increase the capacitance slowly, it said. So I'm going to try that. Oh boy. We'll just try to keep an eye on that. Yeah. No, I don't think so. Not too sure just how I'm going to pull this off. Because you need to apply a fair bit of muscle power to these things. Of course, maybe that's because I haven't loosened the locking screw. Maybe that's why I gotta muscle it so much. Oh my gosh, this thing's ready to fall over again. There. Okay, so I think I've got the radio in a position where I can apply some power to that thing. Okay. Now, I can see the meter. You can't see the meter anymore, but I can see the meter. But you can listen to it. There we go. Is it moving? All right, it's moving back. So I would say it's all the way out. Let me look at the shaft here. Well, it's quieter. Now, I'm liable to get my arm right in front of the meter view here. There's not a lot I can do. Okay, so this time I'm going to push it back in and watch that meter. Wait a minute, wait. Just make sure the meter's showing the signal. So it's critical I get this radio tuned correctly. Okay. Whatever that means. What did I just say? It was a stupid statement. I'm tuning so much of this radio. Okay. I'm trying anyway. Here we go. Going down. We're at the end already. If I didn't see anything happen. Okay, something funny's going on here. I just knocked the signal down to almost nothing and it's still coming out of this radio. How does that happen? Is this radio that sensitive? This would be the most sensitive radio I've ever had in here. Holy smokes, what's going on here? So, to really make this work properly, I need to have this set there. Yes, all this time when I'm saying I've got a strong signal and a weak signal, I realize how out of calibration this is while I'm doing that. Because of this setting, which needs to be here, to energize this, to make that show up. At the same time, I flip it here, this is no longer valid. It's still having an effect, but it's nowhere near calibrated anymore. So, with that in mind, doing a calibrated test. So that really is a moderately low radio signal going to the antenna of this receiver, and it's picking it up. Seems pretty good to me. So I think there's two peaks in there, but it's really hard to tell this way. By the way, once I get this all done, I hope to do the whole thing again using scope and sweep. Yeah, so lots of alignment stuff coming, man. It's not going to end for a while. Let's go down lower. So what I'm trying to do is feed in the lowest signal possible that we can hear coming out of the speaker in order to avoid AVC from operating in the radio. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that. Tuning the radio to a quieter spot. Oh, that was stupid of me, wasn't it? That was a dumb move. Okay, again, it doesn't have to be exactly where it's supposed to be. As long as it's close. It is. And as long as I've got it tuned absolutely maximum here. That sounds really good. Okay, let's try pushing and pulling the plunger again. I'll go lower. That's even lower. That's good. Okay, sorry about getting in front of the camera, but yeah. I'm going to pull it out pretty rapidly, so that's what I'm planning. So here we go. So that's out. I didn't hear any change. Something terrible is going wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's taken me 10 minutes to realize I'm working the wrong control. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to put the one I've been working, the wrong one, the one we've been, the one that was all the way down. I'm going to push it all the way down again. Interesting, it has a little effect on this band. Shouldn't have any effect. And we'll now try to work the correct one. All the way around here. Okay, let's calm down now. This is not good at all. Shim. How you like that? Jim had a slim shim. Guess you can call me Slim Shim Jim. What? Oh, cat, please, come on. I've done everything with that cat this morning. That cat got me up this morning, came in bed, jumped on me, got me up in the morning. I've already done the petting thing. I've done everything with you. Yeah, everything's been done. You're taken care of. You're finished. Now, why is this guy jumping around like wild? Okay. Radio's back. It's stable again. I can't remember at all what I was doing. Oh my gosh, my head's completely shot here. Okay. There he is, once again, at the door. So Peanut, what is it you want? Okay, so you see how he's turning his head and looking. He's telling me he wants something out there. That's how they talk. Now he's looking at me wondering, what is the matter with him? Right? Of course, words and talk mean nothing, but tone means everything to the cat. Hey, hey. Tell me in English where you want to go. Come on, Peanut, speak English. Okay, so now he's squinting his eyes. That's another way cats communicate. They squint. It doesn't work well with people. People generally don't squint a lot to communicate. So it doesn't really come through. I mean, this is basically what's going on. The cat is speaking cat body language and humans speak human body language, and it just doesn't really match. Is that right? I hit the mark? What is going on with your face? Yes, he's looking deep into my eyes there. Wondering, why am I standing still, making those funny sounds? It's a standoff. Who's going to break first? Will it be Jim or will it be Peanut? Who will make the first move? He's getting really bored, I can tell. Peanut? Peanut? What are you doing today? What's your plans for today? I don't know what he did. He thought he thinks he just saw something. Well, this is really quite boring. Yeah. Okay, I'll take 2 steps towards the door and we'll see what happens. Meow. Yeah, no. Okay, so he's walking into the bathroom there. He wants me to get in the shower stall with him and shake him down again. I already did that, Peanut. Peanut, that's done. We're done. We're everybody back to work here. Back to work. In fact, I'm going to take a little break, I think. Settle my cat down, because I know he's not going to leave me alone. I'll come back and deal with this schmozzle in a little bit. Okay, let's try this all over again. Power up the set here. Good. Okay, quick review. Frequency we're dialed into should be 21.5. There we go. Signal levels fairly low. I put the control that I was working incorrectly back to where it was this morning. And unless I'm wrong, it looks like it's starting to come apart in there. I hope that's not the case. Yikes. Okay. There we are. So we're not hearing it, probably because it's not tuned anymore. Boy, doesn't that scream out alignment problem? Just the volume control. That's all it is. So I've just zeroed the my paperclip pointer. 162. Okay, 162 right on. Okay, so here's the science. Oh, for crying out loud, it's not even plugged in. This is just a big antenna hanging off my, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I tell you. So the sensitivity of this radio is really very high. It really is. Just where I want it to be. Now let's get on the correct tuning thing, which may well be correctly adjusted from the last time I did it. But I'm sure there's room for me to mess it up. There it is. Pulled all the way up, which means minimum capacitance based on that other instructions for the other radio. That's where you should start, especially if your radio is way out of alignment like this one now. Okay, well, let's check the meter there. Well, I don't hear the tone at all. I need a little bit of tone. So I pushed that all the way to the bottom there. I didn't get any good feelings out of that at all. There was a number of places along the way where it seemed to produce the tone slightly. I certainly didn't see any nice up and back peak here. Wow, let's give it more juice here. And now it seems to... It's gone bye-bye. How can that happen? Completely gone. Shoot. Okay, let me pull this thing back up. It really didn't follow at all. What all happened there? The antenna wire connection is right here. Maybe I'm bumping it. Don't think so. Doesn't seem to be sensitive at all. .260. You know what? This is an oscillator, isn't it? Oh my god, I've been doing stupid stuff here. Oh, what's the matter with my brain? Is this really... Yes, it's an oscillator. Da da da. Okay, so I've been very stupid here this whole time. Wow. It's been a parade of stupidity in here this morning. Okay, so I've been overcome with stupidity here this morning. See if I can clear my head and do the right thing. So the right thing is the radio must be tuned to the right percentage. I got it in my head that this was not an oscillator adjustment. That's what happened to me. 162. Okay, 162. Okay, it's right on 162. So that should be picking up 21.5 megacycles, but it's actually picking up 21,260. And that's because I've knocked this oscillator control way off. And that's because I have limited brain power this morning for some reason. You know what it is? It's a Peanut woke me up early. He woke me up, robbed me of about 45 minutes of sleep, I think. And now you as a viewer are paying the price for that cat. So let's, you know what, I'm going to put this where it needs to be. I'm going to juice up the power a little bit, make it easy to find, really easy to find, and I'm going to move this capacitor plunger and find it. Air capacitor, that's what these things are called, air capacitors. Okay, here we go. Pulling it out. Oh. Well, I'm not upset. Smokes, man. You gotta get the opposite reaction going here. I got the equal, I don't have the opposite. Here we go. Come on, jump to life, radio. Oh, right at the last moment there. Not seeing anything on the meter. Okay, let's try just a little fine adjustment here. This was right at the almost fully extended position of this control. Jumpy. Why so jumpy? So I'm going to push it all the way down to discover if there isn't another peak down there somewhere. There we go. We're going down. How come the radio sounds like it's getting better and better? So I think this suggests is there more front-end alignment for this? The impression I get, right or wrong as usual, is pull this thing up, get the signal coming in, but the sensitivity's gone way off, way down. The sensitivity up, which is really important, and the radio oscillator's way off. That's the quandary. That's the quandary here. So yeah, so you know what? There's an L involved in this too. There's an inductor involved. So I think I went through this before, but I didn't know what I was doing before. Now I think I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this in the half position, and then I'm going to fiddle around with the inductor. See if we can't kind of bring this thing into some normalcy. Normalcy? Okay, so this capacitor is now about halfway. So to do the inductor, we shoot to the other end of the band, 17.75. Very accurately now. Concentrate, man. There, 17.75. And I think it's 17 degrees on the big wheel. Okay. 17 degrees on the big wheel. there's 17. We have to do the inductor L12. L12 is right here. Interestingly enough, this one's down quite a ways. So, find my little screwdriver. Now, don't get jumpy on me now. That was it. That's not quite what I was looking for. Now I'm going to mess it up by moving the capacitor for the other end and see what it does at this end of the band. How sensitive is this? Here we go. Pulling it all the way out now. Wow. Oh my gosh, I am pulling it all the way out. Like really all the way out. Oh my gosh, it comes out twice as long as I thought it did. Holy smokes. Is it, I've never had these things pulled out properly? That's gigantic. That's just gigantic. You can see some scratch marks where the pinchers have been grabbing it, but that's way out. I've never pulled one out that far. Oh, I mean, I've done something really good here. I get the impression you could pull this thing right out of the radio if you pulled it far enough. So let's not do that, because if it comes out, those little pinchers are going to close slightly and I'll never get it back in again without a major headache. Okay, so there we are. I've yanked out the local oscillator one for the other end of the band. Okay, let's go to the other end of the band now. Made no difference at the low end, which is kind of curious too. How can it make no difference at all? Because I'm using the wrong control again, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, so we're dialed up to 21.5. Okay, there it is, way up there. 21.7. 21.7. And we want this to come down. Surely to goodness, pushing this in is going to bring it down in frequency. So we'll lower this a little bit. Push this in and see if we don't encounter the signal here. So here we go. Hold that radio. Going in. There. Perfect. That's great. So we want to get it down to 21.5. That was nice. I like that. Let's try finding it there. 21.66. There it is. Going down a little further. 21.530. Where is it? Oh, okay. I almost gave up on it there. You can see why it's easy to get confused and think rotating, at least it was for me, that rotating these things are the way you tune them when they react. But it's not, it's pulling it. Pulling it. No, pushing it. That's 2153. Now put it on the right frequency. 21500. Okay. Now I'll just try tuning the radio a little bit here and see how sensitive we are on it. Not going to get any better than that, pretty sure. $162. Oh my gosh! Now we check the lower end again here. Lower end is at 17 degrees. See the radio come to life again? Something's not quite right. So we're at 17 now. 17, just checking, 17 degrees, correct? And there we should find, just to confuse it, no, 17750, nothing confusing there. Just, you know, it's taking nothing now to confuse me. $17,752 on there. Hey, you're not going to get any better than that. By gory gosh, I did it. Really? No, there's two more. Oh, so there's two more, and that'll fix the problems with the sensitivity. You got the detector C12 to do. Right, C12 is the center screw on the capacitor. And then after C12 it's C4. Okay, let's just do C12, one thing at a time. C12 with a big screwdriver, if I remember right. C12, center of the top. Frequency we do this at, 21.5. Oh. 21.5. Again, let's get this tuned right in here. So these are not oscillator adjustments. These are two peaking adjustments. So the name of the game is have the radio tuned maximally. The meter's not helping much here. Okay, right on the money. Let's turn it down a little bit. Center screw. Okay, first screwdriver sensitivity. Doesn't seem to be any. Here we go. Hold still. Turntable. Watching the meter now. Don't like what's happening here. So I've loosened that screw right off. I'm going to tighten her right up. Just going down, down, down. Doesn't want any additional capacitance. Now, so I've tightened it down. Let me retune it again. It's so difficult to tune this thing in small amounts. I want to see if I've still got it right on. So it's at 2 right now. Did that adjustment do something? Up, up. Okay, we're up a little higher now. Opening up. There's a peak there now. Around here. Let's tune again and see if we've down, up. Ever so slight. So another adjustment here. It's really, oh, now it's going up. There's a peak. I'd say there's a peak there. That's not bad. Capacitor's in a good range. Okay, next one. Next one is same frequency, same channel, C4. C4 is the other one. Sensitivity, a wee bit. Just from mechanically moving the screw. I'm just trying to get the screwdriver in. Okay, we're in. We're in. Now, sensitivity is just pushing and pulling. Not too much. Okay, here we go. Tightening. Going down on a lot of tightening. Loosening up. Well, there's a peak, but it's really, oh no, what's happened? What has happened? That has happened. Oh my God. Okay, so Peanut's gone. He's having a break, and Shadow's taken over now here in the shop. Oh my gosh. Now look, Shadow, you can't come up here. This is not, it's not so good a time. Yeah. So I wonder I get anything done with that constant distractions. Hey, that's the way modern life is though, isn't it? Distractions. So C4 didn't seem to do anything. I don't like that. Is it because I'm doing an antenna adjustment and I've got it hooked up not to an antenna but to a signal generator? And that's causing something. Where are you going there, buddy? So why don't we put this on an antenna and see what's happened? Why don't we? Because Shadow's in the way now. That's why we don't. Okay, we don't need to hear this. What we need to hear is the loud cat meow. Why is that happening? I turned my signal generator down to the point where we shouldn't hear anything, and it's still coming in just fine. I've run into this 4 or 5 times now. What is going on? Okay, so I pulled the signal. So the signal. Oh, yeah, right. I know what it is. Just ignore me. Okay, no problem. Yeah, lots of problems. I'm the big problem today. We're going to tune this radio. Okay. Here we go. Okay, Still got the signal generator. Receivable. What else is out there? Now that signal generator, look, all it's hooked up to now is just that antenna matching box. And this radio is picking it up. That's pretty good. You hear the hiss level coming up? The noise level? So that, right or wrong, that suggests there's an alignment problem. Maybe not. The antenna things. Antenna resonate at different points. Morse code. Hey, get your nose away from there. Could have been teletype.
Multi-millionaire children, whether that's appropriate, all of that will happen, but I think impeachment is in fact the opposite. We think at the moment, many states are guilty of impeachable crimes because these things look at the House, if the president is impeached, there's a trial in the Senate. The Senate did not convict. There's no way convict Donald Trump in an impeachment scenario. Well, moving ahead, U.S. Senate
Just trying to drive my cat nuts there. So I'm going to adjust this now after listening for a little bit. That was the detector adjustment. I couldn't hear any change whatsoever. Makes me wonder what I'm doing wrong here. Antenna. Well, I don't know, I turned those two adjustments. I couldn't really tell any change occurring in the radio. So once again, what the heck am I doing wrong here? We're definitely on the we're on the right band. Good for you, Jim. And well, I don't know what to make of it. Hey, it's receiving. Well, it's probably not so bad, actually. What frequency are we on? We're somewhere around 17, somewhere around, it wouldn't be around 17 megahertz. We'd be around, Really? 17. No wonder we're not getting much. This is really high. I don't know what frequency that is. But, which one? What is it? Shadow? Which one? What do you say? What frequency are you listening to? You don't know, eh? She's zoning out. Okay, I think I'm going to stop at this point because it's been kind of a rough time in here today for me. And go away, lick my wounds a little bit, and get ready to do the rest of it over again. Well, that's the only way I can think of doing these things. You do them over and over until you get it right. Okay. Shadow, are you going to say goodbye? Shadow, we're going to say goodbye. Yeah, that was... Okay. See you on the next video.